Namaste students, welcome to statistics class. Yesterday we were discussing about ogive curve and I have completed 3 ogive curves, but we will solve one more because this kind of graph we have not drawn yesterday. You may get confused. So we will take one graph here. Then with this we can complete with ogive curves. Then we will discuss some other theory part. Now read the question there. Draw an ogive curve for the following distribution and locate the median upper quartile, lower quartile from the graph. What we need to do? Draw an ogive means not ogives, less than and more than an ogive curve. One ogive curve and locate median there. Then upper quartile. What is upper quartile? That is Q3. Upper quartile means Q3. Then lower quartile, that is Q1. We need to locate Q1, Q3 as well as median. Median is also called as Q2. So we need to locate median, then upper quartile and lower quartile. And ogive means which ogive we need to draw there? Here we need to draw less than ogive. If you get questions like this where you need to locate these 3 or any 2 or any 1, and if they use the word an ogive, you need to draw there less than ogive. You need to draw there less than ogive and see the problem there. Daily wages and number of workers. Firstly, we will prepare a table in order to draw less than ogive. Write there solution. Write there solution. Solution here. Less than ogive. What we need to take? Class intervals, or we will write the wages, daily wages, number of workers, then in order to draw their less than ogive, what do we require? Less than cumulative frequencies, LCR, and less than ogive is formed for less than cumulative frequencies against the upper limits. We need to take the upper limits. Now we will take the problem as it is. 52, 55, 55 to 60, 60 to 65, 65 to 70, 70 to 75, 75 to 80, 80 to 85, 85 to 90, 90 to 95, then 95 to 100. Next we will take number of workers or frequencies 6, 10, 22, 32, then 40, 44, then 38, 26, 20 and 12. 20 and 12. Write here total here and total the frequency and write there what is the total number of frequency. Add this. When you add, you get there 250. Now, when you find out here less than cumulative frequency, the last value of less than cumulative frequency should be your n value. Now, find out less than cumulative frequency. 6 plus 10, 16, 16 plus 22, 38. Next, 38 plus 32, there we get 70, 70 plus 40, 110, 110 plus 44, 154. Then 154 plus 38, that is 192, 192 plus 26, 218, 218 plus 20, 238, 238 plus 12, there we get 250. Less than cumulative frequency. Now upper limits. Take the upper limits. This is the lower limit. These are the lower limits and these are the upper limits are 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95 and 100. 95 and 100. Now, further questions are there. Better now itself we will calculate what will be the value of Q1, Q2 and Q3. Median is Q2 is median. Now, Q1 is equal to 1n by 4. 1 into 250 by 4. What do we get there? 250 by 4. We get there 62.5. We can approximately take it as 63. Next, Q2 or median. Q2 or median. We'll write median itself. Median or Q2 is equal to here 2n by 4. 2 into 250 by 4. That will be 500 by 4. There we get 125. Q2 value is 125. Next, Q3, that is 3n by 4. 3 into 250. 3 into 250. That will be 750 by 4. There we get 187.5. This we can consider it as 188. Now, after drawing an ogive curve less than ogive, then we need to locate these three values. That is, we need to find out median, then we need to find out the Q1 and also Q3. Now, we draw the curve there. We draw a curve, x-axis and y-axis. X-axis and here it is x-axis and here comes y-axis. 0. What we need to take here? Daily wages. This side. And here we need to take number of workers. This side we need to take number of workers. Now, see the class intervals or wages. We'll start from 50, 55. See here, the gap between 0 to first value 50. Rest of the value 5. I have told when this gap and rest of the gaps will not be equal, we need to locate one kink line there in order to show that this is not equal. If it is not equal, we need to draw that line. 55, then 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95 and 100. Upper limits. All the upper limits we have taken. Now see the value. We need to go up to 250. A smallest value is 6. 6, 16, 38. It's better to start from 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, then 180, 200, LCM. 55, what is the value? 55, their value is, here we located 50. Actually we could have started from 55. 50 is not necessary. So we will start from 55 itself. 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Upper limits. 55. So there 55 value is 6. 55 value is 6 and 60 it is 16. 60 it is 16 just above the first one. Then 65, 38, 65, 38, 65, 38, 70, 70. In the place of 70 we get 70 there. Then 75, 110, 75, 100, that's 100, 110. Then 80, 154, 80, 154. Then 85, 192, 85, 192, 80, 192. Then 90, 218, 90, 218, 218, 95, 238, 95, 238. Then last one 100, it is 250. 100, it is 250. Now join the curve there. Less than OG. Here we have taken less than OG. What we need to look at now? Q1, it is 62.5, approximately 63. 63. Now we get there Q1 as, here we get, according to this graph we get 70. The next one Q2 median 125. 125 here. 125 to draw a parallel line over to the x-axis. 125. From there where it got the OG. Here value approximately it is 75 and 79. Q2 median is 79 we get here, and Q3 187 or 188. 188. Here we get value, it is 87. Q3 is 87. So here Q1, Q2 or median and Q. No need to write like this, but I have, for your understanding purpose, I have written. This is draw an OGU less than OGU, then Q1, Q2, Q3. By using this particular formula, we need to see the what is that value. Then we need to find out the value of Q1, Q2, Q3 using an OGU curve, that is less than OGU. Now we'll see the limitations of graphical presentation of data and comparison of diagram diagrams and graphs. We have come to an end of that graphical presentation of data, this particular chapter. Now, what are the limitations of graphical presentation? Their first one comes, graphs and diagrams are only visual aids and they cannot be considered as an alternative to numerical data. See, it's just an visual aids, means we can see this but we cannot consider it as an alternative to the numerical data. For example, what we represent in the form of graph, what we get in the form of table. For example, it might be the class intervals and frequencies will be there. This we represent in the form of graph. See, we cannot consider the graph as an alternative to tabular information. For example, the tabular information will be there, that information we plot it on the graph, but we cannot plot only a graph there without having a tabular presentation of data. We cannot plot only a graph. If we plot graph means there should be a tabular presentation. There must be a tabular presentation. So it's just one visual presentation of this information. Visual presentation of this information, but we cannot consider this as an alternative to this. Alternative means without having this, can we have only this? No, it is not possible. We must represent this information in this form. So it's just a visual presentation of tabular information, but we cannot consider it an alternative to tabular information. Tabular information has to be there. Only tabular information, it's okay. It's not compulsory we need to draw. If we draw it, it's more convincing. It's a more attractive or more convincing we can consider. But this should be there. Without having this, we cannot consider only graphs. That is one limitation. Then these are not accurate and give only rough idea of the data. This graphical information we cannot consider it as accurate like a numbers have been present in the tabulated data. In the table format, what numbers will be there? That we represent in the graph. So, in the graphs or diagrams, we cannot consider these are accurate information. These are rough idea about this tabulated information. Next, they cannot be used for further statistical analysis of the data. This graph what we present, we cannot use it for further statistical analysis. We will use it for our future study or purpose. We cannot use. It just represent this particular information for that time being. Then they are misleading and can create wrong impression about the data. Sometimes while preparing graphs, if we go wrong somewhere, means it totally misleads, because the people who watch it or people who observe graphs, if we have graph along with the tabulated information, we give more importance to graph because it is easy to understand. At a single glance we can understand it. But if we present it in somewhere, sometimes if something goes wrong, it will mislead the information. It will misleading and create wrong information about this particular data. While preparing, if we do something wrong, it may mislead or it may give wrong information about this tabulated information. Then these four are the mainly which they have given in a textbook for demerits of or limitations of graphical or diagrams or graphical presentation. One is it's just an visual aids to see or to understand, but we cannot consider to an alternative for this tabulated information. And they cannot be accurate. It cannot be accurate. They can be only a rough idea of the data. One, we cannot use it for further future statistical analysis or study. Then they can mislead the people, those who watch it or those who refer it, they can mislead sometimes if it goes wrong. Then next we will move towards the comparison of diagrams and graphs. Now when we compare diagrams and graphs, what are diagrams? Which are the diagrams? Diagrams we studied what is that one-dimensional diagram. That is a simple bar diagram, then multiple subdivided percentage. These are one-dimensional diagram. Then in case of two-dimensional pie diagram. histogram, frequency curve, frequency polygon, then OGs. These are graphs. What is the difference between diagrams and graphs? Now, diagrams give only approximate idea. When we compare diagrams and diagrams gives approximate idea, whereas graphs are more accurate information. The graph, because in case of graph we consider even scale in the x-axis as well as y-axis. Diagrams means it is one dimensional, means only length is considered, not the width. But pie diagram we represent in the circle. We use circle and we represent the different given component. But when we compare diagrams and graphs are more accurate than the diagrams. Graphs are more accurate than the diagrams. Reason might be we use their proper scale, and it is drawn on the graph sheet where scales will be given in a proper format. Then next one, diagrams are drawn on plain paper. Diagrams are drawn on plain paper, but whereas graphs needs graph paper. Graphs needs graph paper. That's what I have told. When you draw histogram, frequency curve, frequency polygon and ogive, you have to draw it on the graph sheet. If you draw it on the plain paper, that is wrong. You will not get any marks over there if you draw graphs on the plain paper. These are graphs where we consider scale for x-axis as well as y-axis. So, diagrams are drawn on plain paper, means in our notes book or any other books what we draw, that we call it as plain paper. Whereas graphs are drawn on the graph paper. Diagrams can be easily understood than graphs. Diagrams can be easily understood than graphs. That is true, because if we take a pie diagram, we can see the component A 50, 180 degree, 70. We can easily say that this component is very less, this component is more. In case of simple bar diagram also, there we can say here the production of wheat in the different years. This production of wheat is bit high, this production of wheat is bit low. And in case of other diagrams, that is subdivided bar diagrams, we prepare here index. Through that easily we can understand. So diagrams can be easily understand than graphs. Graphs are bit difficult because as now it is less than ogive, more than ogive. We need to observe it. We need to observe more than diagrams in order to understand. So diagrams are easier than the graphs. Next, fourth one, time series and frequency distribution. Time series and frequency distributions can be represented by graphs but not by diagrams. What is the time series? There is one chapter in the second year class, that is time series. So the time series and frequency distribution. Frequency distribution, you know that just now we are representing in the form of graph, that is class intervals and frequency. The class interval and frequency, that is 20, 22, 30 and 6, 8. So these are frequency distribution. Same like there is one other technique in the statistics, time series, that we can represent using graph, but for that we cannot use diagrams. We are not using diagrams in such case. We use only graphs because that is more accurate than the diagrams. Diagrams are more suitable for publicity, advertisement, whereas graphs are suitable for statistical analysis. Now, graphs we use for statistical analysis. For publicity and advertisement, it is better to go with diagrams. That is, it might be pie diagram, or it might be simple bar diagram, or it might be a multiple where we represent interlinked data, multiple bar diagram, or else subdivided bar diagram, and one more is there, that is percentage bar diagram, where length is always 100. These are diagrams, that is simple bar diagram, then multiple, then subdivided phi diagram, and this one percentage. These are diagrams. Which are graphs then? Graphs are histogram, where these are histogram, then there comes frequency polygon or frequency curve or else ogive, less than ogive and more than ogive. These four are graphs which we are using to represent the frequency distribution. These four are graphs and these are diagrams which we studied in this particular chapter. Graphs are histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve and ogives, and diagrams simple bar diagram, then multiple bar diagram, subdivided bar diagram, percentage bar diagram. These four are one-dimensional diagram where we consider only the length. Width is for the purpose of attraction, and pie diagram is a two-dimensional diagram where we consider width as well as length. And now there is one small topic in this particular chapter, the last one I have already told to you, that is false base line. What is false base line? That is false base line. It is a kinked line where we are not using the scale in the graph. For example, as I told now, the lowest value in the graph it is 0. We start from, for example, 0 to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It's okay. 5. Width is equal. The difference between the first value and the rest of the first value, it is 10. And rest of the value also 10. Equal. No need to draw any kinked line. We are using scale from here to here. Now here, we'll start from 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Now see the difference. Difference between the 0 to first value. What is the difference? 50. 0 to first value is 50 difference. Then rest of the values difference you see. 10 to 10, here it is 10. Difference is 10. So here it is not equal. Means we are not using any scale here. So here we need to represent a kinked line. A kinked line. This we call it as false base line. So what is a false base line? It is the space in the graph sheet where scale is not considered. It is the space in the graph sheet where scale is not considered. We are not considering scale here. We are considering from here because it is not necessary for our distribution what they have given. Here we are considering, from here to here we are considering scale. Now we will make it vice versa. Here it is proper. 0 to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Here difference is equal. Now here we are directly starting with 50, 60, 70, 80 and 90. Now see here. The gap between 0 to first value, it is 50 and the gap between the rest of the value, it is equal. So it means we are not using scale here. We are not using scale here. So here also you need to show a kinked line. A kinked line. So what is false base line? So it is a line. It is a line in the graph sheet. Where scale is not applied. Scale is not applied. Or else you can write it's a kinked line. It's a kinked line. It's a kinked line in the graph sheet where scale is not applied. That we call it as false base line. It is one last topic. It may come for 1 mark. What is false baseline? It's a key line in the graph sheet where scale is not applied. We have used in the while doing the graph. We have used it. We have used already. But it's in your textbook. It is there as a last topic. So I think with this we can end with the 4th chapter, that is graphical and diagrammatic representation of data. Here we have seen different kinds of diagrams and graphs. Now in the next session we will move towards the next chapter.